Hello guys, in this video I'm going to explain how does the compound effect affect you, and you will soon find out the answer to that question. Before we begin a thorough explanation of the previously mentioned topic, there are some key terms that you have to understand. The first term is called short-term gratification. Now, short-term gratification means, or my definition of what it means, I'm just paraphrasing the actual definition, is it's basically actions that fulfill a temporary impulse slash urge. Examples of actions that do this include eating junk food, watching adult videos, playing video games, actions like these. The second key term that you have to understand is called delayed gratification. My paraphrasing of what this word means is basically it is an action that is not pleasant in the moment, but that action has long-term benefits. Examples of this type of action include going to the gym, reading a book, or going for a run. People's ability to delay gratification positively affects their life outcomes. In the past, an experiment was conducted. In this experiment, children were seated in a room. It was individual children. They were all seated in a different room, one at a time. They were not in the same room, basically. It was one child would sit in a room, do the experiment, whatever. The experiment would end. Then the next child, at some point in the future, would go into the room. It was basically one child did the experiment at a time, to clarify. So, children were seated in a room, and a marshmallow was placed in front of that child. They were told that if they could prevent themselves from eating the marshmallow for 2 minutes, then the researcher would return and give them a second marshmallow. So some of the children successfully waited the 2 minutes and they received a second marshmallow. So they got a reward for controlling themselves and not eating that marshmallow right away. By waiting those 2 minutes, they got not just one marshmallow, but 2 marshmallows as a reward. But the children who could not wait the 2 minutes and who just ate the marshmallow before the time limit had passed, they only got the marshmallow that they ate. They only got one marshmallow. So the researchers followed up on the children, and it was observed that the children who were able to wait for 2 minutes without eating the marshmallow had better life outcomes. They had more job satisfaction, more money, they were healthier, etc., etc., etc. They basically just had better lives than the children who were not able to control their impulses, who were not able to wait for the 2 minutes. Your decision to partake in either delayed or instant gratification activities impacts your brain neurology. Our brain's neurological wiring is impacted by the decisions that we make. Whenever we choose to partake in a certain course of action, the neurological wiring corresponding to that behavior is strengthened. Thus, habits, whether good or bad, are developed. Basically, whenever we take a good action, we are more likely to take another good action in the future. And on the other hand, if we take a bad action, we are more likely to take a bad action in the future. This is why that experiment where the children were told to wait for the marshmallow is so striking, and why it's important to learn about. Because that example clearly illustrates the importance of doing delayed gratification, because people who are able to do delayed gratification develop their neurological wiring in such a way that it's conducive to their success, and they have better lives than people who do not do that. Whenever you make any decision, it has an immediate effect in how it makes you feel. This is temporary because our emotional states are always fluctuating. It has a secondary effect in the long-term effect of the action. For example, if you do a workout session in the gym, then you will become stronger and gain muscle mass over time. So basically, any decision has an immediate effect and a delayed effect. Each decision that we make also has a tertiary effect, a third effect. This is the change that will occur in your behavior with regards to the types of future decisions that you will make. Every time that you make a decision that is short-term gratification, you will become more likely to make decisions in the future that fulfill short-term gratification impulses. On the flip side, Every time that you make a decision that is for your long-term benefit, you are more likely to make decisions for your long-term benefit. Thus, the long-term effects of our actions can be seen on this graph. Explanation of the graph. As you can see, the good actions temporarily give a small decrease in quality of life while you are doing the activity that is difficult, because you will emotionally feel worse while you do the activity. For example, going for a run. While you are on the run, it does not feel good to be on the run. However, in the long run, things like going for a run, basically any delayed gratification activity, will be a net positive action because you will be healthier and happier because you went for a run. And in the even longer run, you will make better decisions in the future because you improve your neurological wiring to make it so that you will take more delayed gratification actions in the future, which farther improves your life in a positive feedback loop. Explanation of the graph part 2. On the other hand, if you do instantly gratifying activities, you will feel better temporarily, so your quality of life temporarily rises. In the long run, that activity, such as eating a donut, will harm you. For example, eating a donut will make you fatter. Skip into an even farther point in the future. You will also be more likely to make poor decisions in the future because you will have strengthened the corresponding neurological pathways in your brain, creating a negative feedback loop. You must train your brain like Pavlov's dog. Well, not necessarily just like Pavlov and his dog, but you gotta train your brain. Every time that you do a delayed gratification activity, it will become easier to do other delayed gratification activities. So, develop your discipline, and then your life outcome will become much brighter, because every time that you do a delayed gratification activity, it becomes easier to do the same thing in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content, and yeah, maybe let me know if you like this format of video in the comments. I haven't made a video like this before. Anyways, peace.